What if I told you that your biggest failure could be the best thing that ever happened to you? Sounds strange, right? But let me explain. Hi, I'm Brigadier Tejinder Pal Singh Vadhava, retired, and after decades of serving in the Indian Army, training young officers and watching them evolve through grit and resilience, I've come to believe one thing very deeply. Failure is not your enemy. In fact, it could be your greatest teacher. In 1999, I stood before a batch of young officer cadets at the Officers Training Academy, Chennai. Some were struggling, some were excelling, but all were growing. One young cadet in particular broke down after failing to lead his team through a very complex field exercise. He believed he failed as a leader, but I knew something that he did. That failure was just the beginning of his transformation. Failure feels terrible. It bruises the ego, shakes your confidence, and makes us question our worth. But what if it didn't mean you are done? What if it meant you are just getting started? Carol Dweck, who pioneered the idea of growth mindset, puts it perfectly. In a growth mindset, challenges are exciting rather than threatening. So rather than thinking, oh no, I look bad, you say, here's a chance to grow. Let's break it down. A growth mindset is the belief that your abilities can improve through effort, learning, and resilience. It's about shifting from I can't do it to I can't do it yet. That cadet who failed, he came to me, asked for a feedback, worked on his weaknesses, and led the same team brilliantly later. By the end of the course, he was a confident leader, respected by everyone. That's the power of a growth mindset. In the army, we have something called an after-action review after every exercise. We don't point fingers. We ask what went wrong and what went right and how can we do better next time. Treat your own setbacks the same way. Don't ask why me? Ask what can I learn from this? Early into my yoga classes, I faced asanas that my instructor told me to avoid due to my back condition. But I still tried carefully and mindfully because I believe only by doing those I will build the muscle strength to be able to ever do them. The discomfort told me where I needed to work, and in a few months I've already improved. The challenge became my teacher. In my school days, I had two Bengali friends, Sen Gupta and Bhattacharya, brilliant at English. They would write poems and challenge each other with new words every single day. And just by being with them, it started brushing off on me too. Soon, I picked up the courage to be on stage and address the morning assembly. That was my first brush with public speaking and the power of influence. Who you surround yourself with matters. Choose wisely. Leadership means facing fear, doubt, and setbacks. General Sam Monakshaw once said, if a man says he's not afraid, he's either lying or he's a Gorkha. The courage is in continuing despite fear. So don't be afraid to feel afraid. Be ready to keep going anyway. Progress isn't visible day by day. That's why the best leaders I served under celebrated every small win. So break your big goals into milestones, and when you hit those milestones, pause and acknowledge them. You're farther than you were yesterday. That's what matters. You're not alone in facing failure. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school team. J.K. Rowling faced 12 rejections before publishing Harry Potter. Thomas Alva Edison failed 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. Or the recent case of a South Korean woman who passed her driving test after a whopping 960 attempts. Their secret? They didn't stop. Remember, success isn't final and failure isn't fatal. It's the courage to continue that truly counts. The next time something doesn't go your way, pause and ask yourself, what is this experience here to teach me? Because failure is never wasted if you learn from it. If this message resonated with you, give it a like and share it with someone who really needs to hear it. And remember, you are just one mindset away from changing your entire life.